Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is December the 28th of 2022. That's 100 years since December the 28th of 1922, the day my beloved and sadly deceased grandmother was born 100 years ago. And she is greatly missed, of course, of blessed memory, She will never be forgotten. But yeah, that party started 100 freaking years ago today. And she did make it to 97, which was great. Strong hand, long term, and let's all make it to 100. Strong hand, long term thinking, conviction to get to 100, baby. Personal responsibility is a new counterculture. People, remember that. This is probably my last show of the year. I felt like doing a show. Hello, my lead friends. How you doing? This is a random one, okay? And I drove to Lafayette, Louisiana. I got here yesterday. It was 72 degrees today. It snowed in Tennessee. I mean, it was weird stuff. I had a good time in Baltimore for Hanukkah and all that. I hope all of you had a great last night of Hanukkah on December 25th. I know it seemed like everyone was celebrating it. I don't know what was up with that. Anyway, December 25th, odd day. Okay, so let's start this. Chris Black had a tweet out. First of all, Chris Black, unique beast. I'm going to show you what kind of unique beast he is. But my elite friends, I got to thank CS2, Frank Castaldini, C. Brock, and Henry Law. We only need $77 for the next full-length One Bitcoin show. This one, I only want this thing to last like 12 minutes, okay? Let's keep this short. I mean, I'm doing this. This is a present for all you Hanukkah people. I mean, that sounded terrible. It's a present for all you guys. Pound that like button, everybody. It's a new Year's present. We're gonna start a new year. We're one day closer to an all-time high. We're one day closer to the 2024 halving. So I'm going to start with Chris Black's tweet. It is linked to below. All right, and this inspired the show. I read Chris's tweet, and immediately I got to do a show about this. And you guys would be shocked how often I see a tweet and I want to do a show. I just can't do a show. I mean, I try to do this show. Google asked me for some insane verification. I couldn't even believe it. As I've said many times, YouTube has gotten worse and worse since 2016. It really has. It's a joke. They don't care about customer service for smaller channels. But for the big ones, they do care. That's their prerogative. That's their thing. Whatever. Compete, don't complain. BitChute can't even fund themselves anymore because they depended on banks. That's about last show. Check out last show. All right, if you have questions, type in Bitcoin Meister, do a super chat. We need 77 more dollars. Now, the great Chris Black, this is his tweet, and I still think he's great. All right. BCash, I'm not saying the full word. I never say what. BCash was not a terrible idea. Whoa. It just had terrible spokespeople. Now, first of all, Chris Black has been on my show many times for quite some time. He was on before he was popular with the DeFi stuff. I found him 2017. And he is a unique beast. He's not scared of anything. Okay. He doesn't need friends. He doesn't need associates. All right. I mean, maybe he doesn't need to be a member of a clique is what I mean. Everybody likes to have friends. It's good to have friends. But he is a confident decentralist. He really is. So I don't agree with that at all, with that quote. BCash was a terrible idea. It was not a terrible idea. It just had terrible spokespeople. I think it was a bad idea. I actually think the spokespeople were not terrible at all. In Roger Ver and Jihan Wu in 2017, those are the best spokespeople you could get. Okay? Roger Ver was Mr. Bitcoin. And he's saying this is the real Bitcoin. Jihan Wu is the biggest Bitcoin miner out there. And he's saying this BCash thing or they need bigger blocks, whatever they were saying beforehand, scaring the living mumbo jumbo out of everybody that was around. Now, Chris was around then. Chris is a marketing guy, though. And perhaps we could discuss this later, him and I. this tweet was partially done for marketing. I mean, he makes some good tweets. He's provocative tweets. Now he really believes this, though. He really believes this. I'm not saying he doesn't believe this, but the way he said it was a little bit of marketing, increased engagement type of things. And the point of me sharing this is not everybody knows I disagree with this thing. I did want to point out that I think it would be like if Michael Saylor today said, "Oh, you know what? There's this new KYC Bitcoin, which there eventually will be, and he supports it." And it would be just like that. And maybe if Max K even did something like that. Well, no, it would be more like as Saylor did it. All right. And he might do that one day. And you know what? It doesn't freaking matter. But that's still a freaking good spokesperson for an attack on Bitcoin. If you're going to try to convince people that you have the real Bitcoin, you're going to want somebody who was greatly respected in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Okay? Like tippity top. And back then you couldn't beat Roger Ver. It really freaked a lot of people out. And he had a cult. He just like Michael Saylor has a cult. But speaking of cults, the Bitcoin Inquisition, a tweet like this, they would get rid of Chris Black. Okay, Chris Black, whatever, he doesn't care. He doesn't care, and that's good for him. And that's my point of bringing this up. So I respect Chris Black for putting this out there. I do not agree with him on both counts. In fact, on both parts of the tweet, I do not agree. But I'm still going to retweet him. I'm not excommunicating him. I am a confident decentralist. Okay. So I want to give you what a real confident decentralist is all about. That's not just that's a way of life. It's a real thing. And so, Cass, I'll get to you in a second, man. I think you know the answer to that question. Oh God. No. So now maybe you don't know the answer. I only read the first part there. I'll get there in a second. So everybody pound that freaking like button. I want to talk real quick about the next subject matter. I think I covered Chris Black there. So yeah, and I suggest keep on following Chris Black. He was provocative in that tweet, but he's a very smart guy, and he definitely goes beyond Bitcoin. But it's good not to live in a little sealed in world, okay? And something that I've been wanting to say about Swan, I want to talk about Swan Bitcoin real quick and Corey Klippstein and the great event that he put on November the 10th in Los Angeles. I never really got to describe to all of you the event. Now, what Corey does is a little bit different than Chris. We can compare and contrast Corey. Now, I respect Corey too. He's trying to run a freaking business, okay? And he's been on my show before. And what his company did, Swan Bitcoin, they're all about Bitcoin. No altcoins. You can buy your Bitcoin there. Okay. Now, a lot of people say it's so easy to get it. You're not going to have bank troubles there. I know someone who could not buy Bitcoin through Swan, okay? And Corey, and I have sent this person to Corey and to other people, and they haven't really, I don't know if Corey answered him or somebody else might have answered him. It was basically like some bank wouldn't let, it was a bank type of excuse. It was very strange. My associate was not able to buy Bitcoin from Swan. He was blocked for some, and this is a good person. I don't even understand. It's not Swan's fault, but it's the bank's fault. I don't know. He didn't get it. It didn't get fixed. So I just want to say that every place when you get on those fiat on ramps, you'd be a really good, clean guy, and you could have problems. So, like with me, I might be on some government list somewhere. This person I know is on no government, shouldn't be on any government list. But okay, go. And that's not I'm not trying to insult Swan here, okay? I'm not trying to insult Corey here. I don't want anybody, but I think one of the things that people say about Swan, well, it's so much easier than Coinbase, is so much this, that, and the other. My associate actually had problems with Coinbase also, but he was able to buy at one point from them. I don't know what's going on over there. the fiat on ramps, man. That's why I said back in the day, buy now, because who knows they might make it. Don't end up on the no-fly list, I guess. Pound that like button. But okay, let's focus here, people. Swan Bitcoin. So Corey likes to say that Coinbase is bad, okay, and that Coinbase, he uses the S coin word, and he tries to differentiate his business from Coinbase's, which is a legitimate thing to do. They are different, but there comes a point, and he's got some outrage marketing there. In a sense, he's like Richard Hart that he's going to keep on posting offensive type of stuff out there to get attention. Now, is it the same type of offensive level as Richard Hart? No, it's not. Disgusting, anatomy type of stuff, but it's using the S coin thing. Ethereum's the biggest scam ever. Just like hyperbole, a lot of hyperbole, but he's running a business, okay? And he's definitely, can you say he feels the need? I mean, if I were him, I wouldn't really comment on the, I don't agree with the technique of commenting on the altcoins and stuff. Be a confident decentralist. Bitcoin is the best, the Ethereum obsession, it's just not a good look, I don't think. But that's the way he goes about things. And I'm a confident decentralist, so I'm not going to go crazy and excommunicate him from my circle or whatever. In fact, I went to him, and he's been doing this a while. I attended his event, and I'm not going to say it sucked because I don't like what he says about Ethereum, or I think there's too much hyperbole in his tweets. So I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. It was a good event. It was a good event in Santa Monica, California, and it was right after the FTX fiasco. Okay. You would think the vibe there would have been terrible. And you got to hand it to the hardcore Bitcoin people that were there. And there was a good amount of people there. And even though it was in Los Angeles, which is a panic-stricken city now, the second most, or no, I guess San Francisco is second most panicked to New York in terms of, the virus and everything, just people scared out of their mind. I mean, it's so embarrassing, what New Yorkers have become. But San Francisco is not much better, and Los Angeles is not much better than that. Don't want to make too many generalizations. New York's the worst. So, but no, it was a very good event, and the vibe was good. If you see the Swan guys posting stuff, the vibe was good. It was good. You would not know that the price had crashed to 17,000 or whatever. It was, the price had really crashed. So I just throwing out two different prominent people on Twitter there, and I what I've been meaning to say about Coinbase versus Swan: compete, don't complain. Let's see, is running a quote unquote altcoin casino, is that gonna make it to 2028, or is just being pure Bitcoin gonna make it to 2028? And I hope they both make it. I don't like destruction, but let's see. There's a lot of a lot of people, Coinbase can't make it. Coinbase has got a lot of money, dudes. I mean, it's a publicly funded company. And so I don't wish ill will on anyone, like on any of those companies at all. But I think we need options to get Bitcoin. And they're hardworking people at both. Corey's a hard worker. The guys at Coinbase, I've met people from Coinbase before. Going back to the Pacific Bitcoin event, there was a Los Angeles flair to it. The guys were bringing their hot women with them. There was a VIP section. They were giving away CBD cream in the VIP section. It was that California vibe to the whole thing. So it was definitely different than Miami, the Bitcoin Miami, but they kind of had it set up very similar way. And it was a cold day in Los Angeles for some weird reason. And it was just way too breezy. People need to bring long sleeves. And they had awesome 1980s and 90s video arcade games at this place in Santa Monica, the Hangar, whatever it was called. So I did not give my full review yet. Now, one thing a lot of people say, and Corey says, is that proof of stake is unsustainable. It's not going to last. It's doomed to fail. He said Corey had a good interview actually recently on one of those semi-mainstream economic channels. I don't know, one of those gold ones, gold bug channels that Professor Hankey's been on before. I think maybe I'm getting confused. It was a woman that was interviewing Corey, and he did a good job. I disagree. Again, he at the end he says strange things about Ethereum, and that proof of stake is doomed. It's doomed to fail. Proof of stake is doomed to fail. And I want to tie this into what I observed when I was back in Baltimore for my father's yahrzeit and for Hanukkah and see my family. So my mom, obviously, I got to see her a lot. And people born in the 1950s, from observation, what I observed, and I love my mother very much, they watch mainstream television, okay? They watch NBC and CBS News. And they believe these sources of information, very much so. And a lot of people out there, like Liberty Blitzkrieg, Michael Krieger, they say things like, the world is waking up. The world is waking up to the truth. So many people know the truth about, this and the money, and they don't believe the narrative. I mean, the Democrats just elected a guy in Pennsylvania who can't speak. Okay. But still, the world is waking up, apparently. Dude, these people born in the 1950s, they're not that old. A lot of you are going to say, well, they're going to die soon. No, they're not. There's medical break. They're not. They all vote. All right? They all yenta with each other, gossip with each other. They believe every word the mainstream media news tells them, okay? They believe in the fiat narrative. What is fiat? What is fiat? That is proof of stake, okay? All right, fiat is basically proof of stake. So, and people have said, is the dollar doomed to fail? A lot of you say the dollar is doomed to fail. No, it's not doomed to fail. All the people in the 1950s believe every word NBC tells them about everything, okay? That they should be scared, that it's cold. It's cold. Like it's never been cold before. They're older than all of us. They should know that it's cold. But what the mainstream media does now, it's the most simplistic stuff. Now, you guys don't watch the mainstream media. I don't. The only reason I saw parts of it was because my mom had the TV on sometimes. Denominator, but there were smart people born in the 1950s who watched it. They love it. It's comforting. They love the format. It's the same format from when I was a kid. Okay, it's the same thing, but it's overtly biased now. They don't hide anything, but that's their truth. That is their truth. Now there was one point during a day. I don't remember the entire context of it all, but I needed to. I told my mom, oh yeah, I was eating in the kitchen, and I had the computer on, and I was visiting my mom, obviously at this point, and I said to my mom, I like it quiet when I'm down here, so I'll be down here for the next hour or so, so just keep it quiet. And she says to me, oh no, don't worry, I'm going to watch the hearings. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. The hearings? It's the last day of the hearings. So, and then I thought, oh my God. Oh my God, the January 6th things. This is their soap opera. This is on regular TV. I had no idea. It has been a soap. They follow it. She calls her friends on the phone and they talk about what was on. It's so shocking. This is that. They don't realize it's a complete political. It's just a political tool. But of course, it's the last one. The Democrats will no longer control Congress, and now the Republicans will have some hearing of some sort, but it won't get the same coverage. But I just want you all to get out of our alternative media bubble here. This is not how it works. These people, these boomers or whatever you want to call them. They're the one past. I mean, and they've got wealth. They donate money to these causes. They keep this stuff afloat. And they don't even know what they're fully supporting because they don't know. They just know what the media says to them. The BLM is a very good organization. Look how peaceful they are, and they believe it's peaceful. Okay, so just take, when you think about finance and that you know the secret of finance, you know that Bitcoin is better than any other money. They don't know. That's not what CBS tells them. CBS tells them every night they were talking about SBF and that this is bad for cryptocurrency. You know, this is, they make it seem like a Bitcoin crash or something else. They don't tell this SBF story correctly. No, of course, they don't give a darn. Well, first of all, the first story will be on the former president of the United States. That's a given right there. But I mean, it's wild and wacky stuff, but it's real, dudes. People are not waking up. We are a minority. Get used to it. Freedom of association. You don't have to. We're in the Bitcoin overlay. They're in normie world. And there's plenty of people, and it's most of the people born in the 1950s are in normie world. Okay, whoa. I mean, as people get younger, not as many, but plenty are. They have other things to worry about. Okay, they don't care. They don't care. They think that whatever the mainstream media tells them, whatever their mother tells them, whatever, they don't want to think for themselves. Okay, and my mother's generation, I mean, when it came to the news, this was a time to sit back, turn off your brain, and just consume what has become worse and worse and worse. So we have a lot of big talkers here. Max Kaiser is one of them. Hey, everyone's waking up. Everyone's gonna no, they're not. They're not at all. They're not. Talk to your parents. Watch your parents. See what your parents do. Do your parents watch CBS and NBC and believe like every word of it, or believe most of it? Why don't you do that little test? Get out of your butt. And then they go to internet sites that are similar. They don't know about Jordan Peterson. They don't know about anything like that. They don't know the first thing about it. And so I'm not going to vilify people. I'm not going to. It's just the way of the people born in the 1950s. This is the way. They didn't change. They're not changing. It's over. Okay, and they're not dying tomorrow either. They're going to be around. They're going to be financing and plenty of stuff out there that I'm no fan of. But confident decentralist. Focus on what you do. Okay. Don't worry, I didn't yell at my mom and say you're a fool to believe this stuff. There's only so much you can do here. You believe what you're going to be. You should be proud that you don't believe that CBS and NBC. Lester Holt. Hello, I'm Lester Holt. It's the 8th night of coverage of the final night of the January 6th, and Liz Cheney is a hero. Even though if she didn't do this, we'd be talking about how horrible her father is. Oh yeah, very good. But her father's a hero now too because he likes Liz Cheney. Oh yeah, we you guys don't remember when we didn't like the Cheneys, right? Oh yeah, of course, All right, so I'm Lester Holt. Now, and I've been oppressed. Those BLM dudes are working for me. I don't let them into my Hollywood Hills house or anything, but you know what I mean. Now, so want some Jello? Now, okay, so 70-year-old. Okay, we talked about the 1950s. The world is not waking up. Freedom of association, and they get the mainstream TV is horrible. So what am I forgetting here? Be authentic. Personal responsibility is a new counterculture. I can't say that more often because so many people make excuses. Well, this influencer influenced me to do this, so that's why. No. It's your fault. It's take responsibility. It really is so true today, but especially with young people, and there's no personal responsibility anymore. And I hate the term influencer. I've told you guys that many times. I hate it, but it's real. It really means exactly what it says. These people on the internet and on TV still, they influence because people don't think. They need someone to tell them what to do because there is no more personal responsibility out there. Okay, let's see. We're gonna conclude this in a second. But yeah, Lafayette, Louisiana is fun to be here. And all right, Cass says, do you think we will get a new bull market in 2024, 25 if the Fed keeps interest rates elevated for years? Yes, I do. Yeah, don't care. No. It's really followed the same exact pattern as the last 2 times. It doesn't. It's innovation, technology, stuff happens. It's no, I don't care what the Fed does. I'm not worried about that. Kaza B, Happy New Year, Adam. Your work and insights are always appreciated. Thank you. How are things down under? Speaking of down under, and I hadn't seen you for a while, Kaza B. Good to see you. This is a guy that's down under too. Visit his site. UK Bitcoin Master isn't feeling well. Let's hope he feels better and he can do his show tomorrow. And what else do I have to talk about? I think good. I kept it. If anybody any more questions, do a super chat or type in Bitcoin Master. Oh, so this thing went 25 minutes instead of 12 minutes. That's not that bad. And I'm just trying to see if there was anything I forgot. There always is something that I remember at the last minute. Okay, everybody. I hope you have this will be the last one before 2023. Have a happy new year, everyone. Have fun. It's going to be a great new year. It's great to be alive. And I get confident decentralist means also that proof of stake doesn't have to disappear for proof of work to be superior. Okay. Don't worry about proof of stake. It's not going away because I demonstrated that the ultimate fiat dollar, which is proof, it's not going away. These people are influenced by the lowest of the low, and they can clearly keep them pumping all sorts of things up that you don't necessarily agree with at all. And yeah, you personally wake up, but the world isn't waking up, and Bitcoin will not become, and for that reason, that people are influenced by morons. Continue. That is the way of the world. Even as we get more and more comfortable, and we get smarter and smarter people that are able to vocalize their ideas on the internet. No, Bitcoin isn't going to become the world reserve currency at all. I see no reason why the dollar won't stay supreme. A lot of tricks up the Fed's sleeve. They haven't even had to resort to central bank digital currency of the dollar yet. Hey, that's my prerogative, though. You guys are free to disagree with it. Put me on the BTC Inquisition list. I don't give a darn. All right. That is the end of the show, even though I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, thoughts on Andrew Tate. I really don't know that dude. I haven't studied that whole thing. It's come up in my feed and stuff. I haven't really explored it. I need to catch up on the last couple days because I was in a car a lot. And yeah. All right, dudes. See you later. Pound that like button. Shabbat Shalom for Friday coming up. All right. See ya. Follow me on Twitter, TECHBALT.